Got a John Deere 1300 series base axle. I'm doing a core evaluation, but this video is going to be for the end user, how you can inspect your axle when you have a problem to know whether you need to think about a replacement level or whether you just need to repair yours. So if you're a current customer, or if you call and you're looking for some sort of a large assembly, typically you're going to get pushed to the reman shop and you're going to catch me. And the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what's wrong with yours? And the reason I like to ask that is because that helps me determine what options we can give you. You're the guy that says, just price me the damn axle. Well, he's not really qualified, and I can price you the damn axle, but when we tell you that it's $35,000, you're going to say, well, I can buy brand new for that. You know, that's the classic lines. So asking what's wrong with yours allows me to guide you through that process. If you said, hey, we just rebuilt our final drives a year ago, well, okay, great. You don't need those then. It's automatically a less expensive piece. The main part is getting into what's wrong in here. So I'm not a mechanic, and I'm always going to take the shortcut to get to the root cause of what I think the problem might be. So here we already have a good idea that we had something catastrophic go wrong with the ring and pinion, or differential, or both. Now, I can tell you that if you had ring and pinion differential problems, that probably both of your gears in here are also stripped. That's just kind of how it fails. The concern would be is that if it failed on your main axle housing, now you've got a significant cost in your repair. Downtime could be a potential issue depending on planting season or harvest. So we try to have multiple options that if you haven't gone through your final drives in a long time and maybe they're leaking, or maybe you've already checked them, then that's something, well, you do need maybe you need a complete axle. But anyway, let's get to the inspection. Okay, for a quick and dirty inspection, first thing I'm going to do too is go to my lowest port. Got my clean glove on. I'm going to be careful about where I stick my finger. But what I'm feeling for is I'm feeling for material and anything that might have helped me diagnose this failure. So I can feel a bunch of material. Could be dirt, don't know yet. I think I can feel a roller bearing inside there, but I can't get a hold of it. I do feel something sharp there, so I'm going to ease my finger back out. And now we're going to take a look and see what's in there. So yeah, so there's some metal right there. Metal pieces. Can run it through my fingers there. It's not sharp, but it's, there you go. You see the glistening? So now we know we've got some sort of major failure. Actually, I might be able to get that little piece out there. Put you on hold. Okay, so you can hear it. So now we know we've got a piece of well, that's probably a gear. But we got a few more pieces here. So in this case here, we know we've got a major problem. Next, we would go to this port right here. We'd be able to look straight into the ring and pinion differential area. I'm not sure on this particular one if there's one on the bottom, but there's multiple access ports to be able to look and see what we got going on. This pin is also you may not be able to see that or hear that, but this pin is worn in this housing here, which is common. I can also bore scope up into there. And one very always overlooked piece is this little air filter or air breather. So when we do an air decay test on, say, this axle, seals can only withstand typically 10 PSI is your max. So if this vent stops up over time from whatever, and it blows your seal out, it will force the oil out of your axle. And then you have a scenario like what we got. So the more you know up front, the better opportunity we have to point you in the correct direction instead of just price me the damn axle. Because pricing you the complete axle is not the goal. It's not to sell you more parts, not to sell you a bigger piece. It is to make sure that we have that option. If you said, hey, I just want the ring and pinion, it's easy for me to say we don't sell it. Why? Because we sell an axle. We always need the ring and pinions. So the more you know when you call in, and I'm totally okay with saying, hey, I don't know what's wrong with my front axle. I'm just looking at the worst case scenario. That at least tells us that you're not ready to buy. You're not a qualified buyer. We can shoot you a price, and then you can go, do some examinations. So trying to explain why we ask the questions that we ask and how it helps us help you. Have a great day.